Hello, I'm Mitchell Behan. Now, have you ever wondered why sometimes people, are able to get through life fulfilling their dreams and aspirations, and some people feel as if they've never fulfilled anything at all? Or have you ever wondered why some people are able to create, abundant, wealthy lives, and some people spend their life just feeling poor? Or why some people are able to have sexually fulfilling relationships filled with intimacy and filled with warmth and care and empathy and compassion, and some people feel as if they're lonely their whole life? I know for me, when I was going through my 20s and I was starting to discover who I was as an individual, I had these dreams and aspirations that I wanted to achieve in my life. I had goals that I had set. I saw my life rolling out a certain way, but I started to feel that there was a huge incongruency or gap between how I felt about myself and who I would actually be if I was fulfilling those dreams and aspirations. And what happened was that as I got older, I started to research and study the area of human development and personal development, and I started to learn and read books and do everything that I could to work out, okay, how is it that these people who are highly successful are achieving these things? What is it they're actually doing? And every book that I read was basically all about, you are the product of your thoughts, you are the product of your thoughts. And what started to dawn on me was that, because I wasn't achieving my dreams and aspirations, every morning I would wake up, I'd feel depressed and down, and I'd feel stuck, and I started to realize that because I wasn't fulfilling my dreams and aspirations, every morning I was subconsciously ridiculing myself and slamming myself and putting myself down and feeling as if my dreams and aspirations were getting further and further away from me. And as a result of that, I had to basically compensate by pretending that I was feeling okay about myself and pretending that I knew my dreams were going to come to me. But in actual fact, in reality, there was a massive gap between how I was feeling inside of myself and, again, as I said, who I would be if I was fulfilling those dreams and aspirations. So all of the stuff that I was reading and all of the information and books that I was reading were all about saying you're a product of your thoughts. Now in 2004, there was some groundbreaking research came out basically stating that, we're not the product of our thoughts at all. In fact, we're the product of how we actually feel. Our feelings and emotions are chemical compounds, they're particles, and it's our feelings and emotions that are actually creating our reality. So if you want to actually create a greater reality outside of what you've already got, you have to feel as if that reality has already occurred sometime or somewhere in space and time for you. And people, as I started to look further and further into this, and I remember sitting down with Joe Dispenza, who was one of the world's leading neuroscientists, and as I was sitting talking to Joe, we were talking about the science of success, and success is actually a science, but we're hardwired to actually achieve great success. We're hardwired to go beyond the success that you consider you've already achieved within your life. And as a result of that, I started to understand that, success is something that we have to embody. It's something that we feel inside of ourselves. But how do you get a person to create a reality of success if they've never felt successful in their lives? And I remember discussing this with Joe, and I came to a personal realization that you have to get a person to embody success and then attach that embodiment and that sensation of gratitude and feeling humble and awake and aware and like the universe has got your back and feeling as if the event has already occurred, that you're already sipping champagne, celebrating your life, and then you have to attach those feelings to how your life actually looks like, to a visual rollout of how your life would look like if you had achieved those dreams and aspirations. Now, coming to that realization, I actually developed a technique that gets people to tap directly into that sensation, because you cannot get a person to embody something that they've never felt. So we created a technique that basically awakens the immortal nature of a human being's soul, the immortal nature of what it is to truly feel connected and succeed within their lives. Now, that technique has worked for hundreds and hundreds of people, and in fact, we're bringing that technique to your city really soon. I'm going to talk to you about that in a moment. Now, I want to share some testimony about some people that have actually implemented this particular technique. One particular chap, his name was Justin. Justin was a very successful 35, 36-year-old when I met him. He had a $50 million company. He was doing really well, but he had, he still felt that there was a great gap between the person that he knew he could be and the person he was actually being. He wanted to make a bigger difference in the world. He was aware that he was effective as a human being, but he knew he could be way more effective. So I remember sitting down with him and running this technique past him and getting him to really embody what it would be to be highly successful. He was an up-and-coming rally driver, but he kept hitting certain points and plateauing with his rally driving. He kept hitting and plateauing with his business and with his wealth, and we were able to get him to create a cause cause that was greater than himself, and as a result of that, tap into the sensation as if he had achieved that great cause. And very quickly, in fact, within a 3-month period, he basically tripled the size of his business. And he also became Australia's #1 rally driver. And on top of that, he was responsible and partly responsible for taking over 4,000 children off the most toxic dump in the world. Then I have another client named Helen. When Helen came to see me, she was flat broke. She was basically had registered herself as bankrupt, and she had 3 young adults living at home, and she was in real dire straits. I sat down with her and I said, look, Helen, are you convinced enough that you know you can embody who it is you want to be? Do you get that in order to create the reality that you want within your life, you have to change the feelings and emotions that you're going through right now, because you cannot create a different reality based on the same feelings and emotions that are running your reality right now. So we took her through the technique, and in taking her through the technique, we got her to embody the reality that she actually wanted. Now, she actually travels with me quite frequently now and earns over $4,000 a week in her highly successful business. But all it was just a matter of saying, you know what, I don't want to waste any more time in my life. I want to embody who it is I want to be. I want to change my feelings and emotions, and I want to just let that event find me. And people who are highly successful in the world, they don't worry about the hows and whats of their reality. They're focused totally and utterly on their why. And when you get really clear about the why in your life, you can achieve anything that you want within your life. Now, here's the good news. We're actually bringing this seminar to your state. It's called Beyond Success, and it's basically where you spend 8 hours with me, and we basically get you to tag inside of yourself that sensation of gratitude and help you to create the reality that you actually want, so that you can literally become unstoppable. Now, if you feel that you want to come to this event, it's free. All you got to do is give us your details, and our office will be in touch with you via email, and they'll contact you, and our objective is to add as much value to your life as we possibly can. Now, I can't wait to see you there. I'm looking forward to shaking your hand. Take care. I hope that this has helped. Bye bye.